Hello, my name is Patrick Largey. I'm running for the 1st Congressional District in Oahu, most of Oahu. My policy of what I'm looking for to accomplish, first a little bit about myself. I'm a 23-year U.S. Air Force veteran. I'm very pro-military. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-Second Amendment. And I believe that in jurisdictions where they have strict gun laws, they have the worst gun violence, like Chicago, New York City. You get more people murdered with guns, with illegal guns, than places like Switzerland, where it's compulsory to own guns. And when you're able to own a gun, you have the right to defend yourself. Then you're less likely to be a victim, because nobody's going to attack you if they know you're packing. Vermont is also the same way. They have the same policies also. They're not as staunch as Switzerland, but they encourage people to own guns. And they virtually have no crime at all in Vermont. Hawaii, we could be more pro-Second Amendment. I think we'd be a lot safer. Secure borders. That's a big issue to me. They said there's estimated over 13 million illegal aliens walked across our border. They weren't vetted, they weren't health clearance, there was nothing. So we don't know if what their intentions are, and it's a financial burden on the U.S. government. I think it's more important that we secure our borders and get that under control before we do anything else. We don't need to be secure in Ukraine's borders. We're creating a lot of enemies in the world by having funding wars that are not ours. When I'm in Congress, I won't vote for wars that are not ours. If we have to fire up our war machine, then we should pay for it. But to just give billions and billions of dollars, the Democrats just recently paid or signed a 10-year pact with Ukraine for security. So that means they've already got $200 billion of our dollars. How much more are we going to give them? Enough already. I won't. If we can't afford it, we shouldn't be doing it. I'm toying around with an idea about subsidizing farmers for food security. We produce good, healthy, local food. Because it's subsidized, the farmers can produce more, and while they produce more, we get better, healthy, local food, more local jobs, and it doesn't have to be shipped from halfway around the world, wasting fuel. Red Hill, I'll go into a little bit about that. I was a little disappointed the way it was handled. You know, I think the people that got sick should be compensated, and they should do whatever it takes to clean that mess up. I have a few ideas, but I'll probably talk about it on the campaign trail. There's been the current representative from my district tried to repeal the Jones Act, but he wasn't successful at it. I believe with the right push and nudge, it can be done, or at least waived for a year, and to see what it's due. Because I believe if the Jones Act is waived for a year, then we can evaluate how it's going to work, how it's going to go. But I think we'll find that there's actually going to be more union jobs, more longshoreman jobs, because there's going to be more ships coming here. Rather than a ship going from Asia to California and then come back to Honolulu, doesn't make any sense at all. You wasted a lot of fuel. My greener initiative is just to have a port of entry here in Honolulu for all the islands. I love America. I love Hawaii. I consider Hawaii's my home. I'll be 66 years old in August. I'm retired. I'm head of maintenance for a 43-story high-rise. I'm going to retire on August 1st, and I'm just going to put all my eggs into my campaign, because I feel it's the country's calling me to serve, and the state of Hawaii is calling me to serve, because we got a lot of problems out there. We got so much debt. We got $1 trillion debt every 100 days. I'm going to be the man that's going to try to stop that debt, get it under control, because I'll push hard. I'm a fighter. And thank you, and I'm Patrick Largey, and I approve this message. Aloha.
Hello everyone, this is Shelby Jason Keiko Kalani Paki Billionaire. I'm here live in the Ōlelo Studios to let you know that I'm running for U.S. Senator under We the People Party. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Congratulations, we already made it onto the general ballot, so I don't gotta hustle people for money to make signs. If you're gonna give me $50 for a sign, I'd rather buy a Vienna sausage, SpaghettiOs, and give it away and feed the people. But I believe in some of the biblical principles like Matthew 4:19, where you teach them how to fish and you feed them for a lifetime. You might have seen on the ads coming up that I believe in fighting human trafficking, drug smuggling, and self-sufficiency. So if you actually Google what a U.S. Senator does, because I didn't know, I had to Google, we're supposed to amend the Constitution, choose the appointees from the president, and be on these committees. So what's happening, when you call Mazie Hirono's office from D.C., which I did, I talked to the staff members and I asked them, what exactly do you do for a living? And they were laughing with me because if I'm talking about human trafficking, I just can't make an aftercare program for Waianae or Hawaiians. That doesn't go with federal law. So what happens, we have to make an aftercare program for everyone in entire 50 states, not only girls, but also boys, which you know has an issues. And Customs Border Patrol, you know, is failing miserably in Hawaii with the fentanyl, ayahuasca, and the payoffs with the Customs Border of no patrol. DLNR sucks, we all know, and they're on the payout. The military leases are coming up and the military has to pay. They're not paying their proper lease rent. I've never even seen $1 from PTA, Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa, or anything. To me, it's all fraud. And you can verify this on your own website in black and white in English on hawaiiankingdom.org. That's why I put Keanu Sai's website on there. So it'll say in black and white English, the treaties and the supreme law of the land, United States, is Article 6, Clause 2. Which is the supreme law of the land, which is treaties. Luckily, if you go to hawaiiankingdom.org or Hawaii State Archives, you can read all those treaties for yourselves in English, Hawaiian, Swedish, and Russian, and all these other languages, Japanese, and it's also translated in English. And so I want you guys to be more akamai. Like, just because you're voting for someone for U.S. Senator, we have to make all federal laws apply, and we have to be very creative. So I'll need all your golfers, all you bowlers, everyone who doesn't vote. We're gonna beat the, how we say, Illuminati oligarchy on EBT and Holo card. That's how we're going to be on the vagabond bus, because it only costs $3 to go one way, $7.50 the whole day. How do you save on the budget? Everyone catch the bus. Just the other week, it was broken, and you could have rode all around for free. Thank you, City and County, for that. So Rick Blangiardi told us on the West Side during our town hall that the police can't handle it alone, meaning crime, death, rape, murder, and gambling houses. And when confronted by Uncle Salcido, he said, why don't you deal with it? When you say that to people from the West Side in Waianae, it means we're going to handle it old school like Larry May Howe days. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people who are doing and selling their own kids for money, for body parts, for drugs, and it's our own people. We have the Sunny Lehua Kalua case. You know, I'm friends with Julie Harding, and they're on the Big Island, and they're trying to help rescue these girls. We have two places which I trust, the Susan Wesley Foundation and Ho'olanapua for girls. They only do girls, they don't do boys. So we do need a place for boys and girls, and you do have to separate them. Tim Ballard is in contact with our team. So before you go and bust any house or place for human extraction, hostage rescue operations, you have to have aftercare programs set in place. So before they go to Colombia, Mexico, Thailand, they already have these places. So when they rescue the kids, which is usually what the men's job is, then they'll take it to the female part and they can do that nursing, take care, and, you know, clean that other things. So there's a lot of things going up. And how come this isn't being addressed right now? I have no clue, because the other senators are supposed to agree upon this. Just because I say I want to make these aftercare programs all 50 states sounds great, but now we have to convince all the other 100 senators total to do the same thing. I don't see why would they say no unless they're pedophiles. And then Pikachu's gonna bring his invisible Jedi saber and, you know, fruit slice ninja, because, you know, we have to bring back the unique old school power. You know, I can't say stuff on TV, but you guys understand. Old school rules for a reason. And we're gonna close out this for all of you. If you guys love Pokemon, hearts, we have to catch them all. If you love Captain Planet, we want you to do summon Earth, Wind, Fire, Water, Heart, which is Aloha. That's also a law, HRS 5-7.5. And if you know Naruto, like the people from Rapa Nui and everybody else, Ore ga zettai masugu jibun no kotoba o makenai de, sore ga ore no nindo dakara. So I believe in my ninja way, and we're always going to follow that. So without all of you, we're going to say, Zete Hokage Ninado. You guys follow me on Instagram at Legendary Billionaire. Follow me on Facebook, Shelby K. Kukulani. YouTube's at Super Shelby Billionaire. And you guys can see me on Ōlelo TV. Chihu, yeah, you. We'll see you guys in cyberspace. Vote for Pikachu. Yeah, you. Pika Pika. Chihu.
Aloha, my name is Adriel C, and I'm running for U.S. Senate. In late July, residents across the state will be receiving their ballots in the mail. With 35 of the 66 partisan races uncontested, the only partisan decision to make on nearly half of the ballots issued statewide will be for the U.S. Senate race. Voters can either get the same old, or choose the Republican ballot and make a choice for change. In our state budget of $18 billion, your vote is worth $36,000. That is your shareholder value, your equal vote as a citizen, from the homeless person who pays no taxes to the billionaire paying millions. Your vote is your voice. Don't let anyone else make that choice for you or diminish the value of your vote. When Prince Kohio went to Washington, he quickly learned the importance of bringing federal funds to local governments. He helped create the city and county system to bring government closer to the people. 100 years later, we've outgrown that model. We're more populous, more educated, more talented, and more capable. Let's bring decision-making back to our local towns and municipalities and bring government closer to the people. The city and county of Honolulu will spend more than $4 million denying access to haiku stairs. Numerous federal programs with the National Park Service and the Corps of Engineers could have turned Haiku Valley into a self-sustaining cultural park. Federal funds should have a net positive value, unlike the $10 billion we're spending on the Skyline Rail project. Shipping to Hawaii shouldn't cost more than it does than shipping from Los Angeles to New York. Yet many vendors just don't bother to make shipping available to Hawaii. Federal laws like the outdated Jones Act create an artificial barrier and cost of doing business in Hawaii. Reform is needed in Washington, and it begins with change here in Hawaii. Vote for Adriel in the Republican ballot in the August primary. My name is Adriel C, and I approve this message.
Aloha, everyone. I'm Clyde McClain, Lewman, Hawaii Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. I support a unicameral legislation without political parties and participatory governance in Hawaii and the United States. One chamber with senators forming committees, seeking and creating solutions that are presented to the legislative body, then followed by discussions and a vote with revisions and additional voting. Nebraska has had a successful unicameral legislature since the mid-1940s. They get things done more efficiently because there is no party to blame or fight with. Imagine large corporations with 2 boards of directors that hate each other, or sports teams with 2 sets of assistant coaches who despise one another. You would say ridiculous and insane. That's what we have, a ridiculous and insane United States Congress constantly at odds, accomplishing very little, and with many forms of corruption. Politicians will object to this because a unicameral legislature functions best with about half the members that now make up both houses. Therefore, everyone will keep their jobs, and through attrition and early retirement incentives, we can reduce the number of members to the best number. Neighborhood boards are the grassroots foundation for more excellent participatory governance. Neighborhood boards are nonpartisan, making it a pleasure for me to be part of one of them. I'm also a vice chair on the Manoa District 22 Democratic Council. I have lost interest because of its partisanship. It's the same for both parties. This is what I am against, even though I remain a member of the Democratic Party. We must return to a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Neighborhood boards need to be expanded. We need more appropriate physical locations for neighborhood members to join and feel safe and comfortable attending meetings. On Oahu, there are 33 neighborhood boards with 437 volunteer board members. They serve as advisory groups to the Honolulu City Council, the city administration, other departments and agencies, and various state and federal government offices. Every meeting includes a police officer giving a report, a fire report from a firefighter, a city council member giving a brief update report, and representatives from the mayor and governor's offices giving their reports. This is where democracy begins. This is truly the direction toward participatory governments and a greater democracy. Capitalism before democracy is the main Koch brothers slogan and the true objective of Trump and his elite capitalist followers. Under Trump's authoritarianism, they will become wealthy oligarchs, and everyone else, including 99% of Trump's voters, will become hardworking slaves to Trump's capitalistic, authoritarian vision. Without political parties, politicians from both parties can relax and let go of their party line nonsense. Stop fighting, get along, become friends, and get things done. Voting for Joe Biden, as hard as that may be for some, will give us 4 more years to figure out the best structure for a unicameral, participatory governance that will increase freedom and democracy. I agree with Bernie Sanders when he says, suck it up and vote for Joe Biden. Secondly, the days of normalized and justifiable colonialism have long since passed. The United States government needs to offer Hawaii back to the native Hawaiian people and assist in establishing a strong kingdom nation with dual citizenship and a healthy pathway forward. Hawaii needs to take control of itself, have its own immigration policy, and develop a food-growing program that will feed everyone. Food is freedom, and we have a year-round growing season. Hawaii was stolen. We do not vote to keep or give back that which was stolen. We simply give it back. A friend said to me, I like it this way. I replied, you liking it does not make it right. Furthermore, time does not turn a wrong into a right. Hawaii is not the United States, and Hawaii is not Hawaii. So please, vote for me, send me to Washington, D.C. I am more bold than nice. Nice politicians get in line. Bold politicians make things happen. My website is mac808.com.
Aloha, this is Bob McDermott. A lot of you may recognize me for being around forever. I served 16 years in the State House of Representatives, had broken time starting in 1996 for 3 terms. I was out for 10 years and went back for another 10 years. So I've spanned 4 decades in my service. But I'm running for U.S. Senate, and I could go into a litany of issues, but we only have 5 minutes here. So I'm going to hit 3 of the top issues that differentiate myself from Mrs. Hirono. I could say we disagree on just about every issue, and we do. But the 3 things that concern me most are things that concern you. Inflation. First of all, my goodness, inflation. Have you gone to a fast food place? I was just talking to some of the folks here. A Whopper is like $12.98. I remember when a Jumbo Jack was 99 cents, my first campaign. That's how I fed the volunteers. We went over 99 cents to double digits now for a Whopper. How is that possible? And we're not getting any more for our dollar, right? So this is crazy. Look at gasoline. In fact, what drives inflation is 2 things. The war on fossil fuel, gasoline, right? Electric cars aren't the answer. If you want one, great, get one. I know I have friends who have them. If that's what you need to do, great, if that's what you want, but it's not for everyone. I can't afford an $80,000 electric car. I got 2 cars that are 10 years old. They work just fine. I'm not going to take on a $1,000 a month payment for no reason. And it's no cheaper. You plug it into the wall, your electric bill goes up. And where does that electricity come from? Guess what? Fossil fuel. There ain't no way in the next 20 years that the state of Hawaii is going to get off of oil into electric cars. It's just not happening. Everybody says it, but renewable energy is not renewable. And we could talk about that, but they have to mine the strategic metals that they use for the cars. And by the way, China already controls 80 to 90% of it worldwide. So that's a non-starter. Anyway, inflation. The policies that we're pursuing right now are horrible. They're just horrible. We're spending money that we don't have, so we have to go borrow. When we come into the financial system to borrow money, we crowd you out. When you go for a car loan, we're crowding you out. So how do you even the whole thing out? You raise interest rates. You raise interest rates, as you know, you're not going to be able to buy a house. A $500,000 condo, just 4 short years ago, the cost to buy that same condo, forget if it's gone up or not, and your cost has doubled because the interest rates have more than doubled since then. So the borrowing of money for the excess spending, and then of course the war on fossil fuel, which drove interest rates through the roof. I don't care what the Democrats tell you, they're not oil men and women, They hate oil. Biden said he wants to declare war. He did declare war on fossil fuel, canceled the Keystone Pipeline. The day he got elected, oil futures shot through the roof. He's been antagonistic to the oil and gas producers. And of course, every time you buy a loaf of bread or do anything, it requires movement, and that movement is done by, guess what? Gasoline and oil. So in the near future, those policies of the Biden administration are very short-sighted. That's number one. So inflation is a big issue. It's affecting you. We got to put Trump in there. And if you don't want to vote for Trump, that's fine. Just vote for me. I'll be the guy who will go there and speak on behalf of Hawaii. Go to my website, votemcdermott.com, please. I don't want to give you an order, but I'd appreciate it. Votemcdermott.com. And we can talk about the issues. In fact, I only got a minute left, and I got a couple more things to talk about. One of them is the transing of our kids. It's coming from the federal government. It was attached to the COVID education money. That's why you saw in West Virginia and Pennsylvania and Texas and California, all across the nation at the same time, including Hawaii, we have a trans clinic down on Ala Moana, the Ala Moana building. There's a clinic there, and the kids are suffering because of that. And that's very important to me because I'm a father of 8 and a grandfather of 14. And there's so much more I can talk to you about. But what I would suggest is you go to my website, votemcdermott.com, or go YouTube, Bob McDermott for Senate, and you will see that I'm pretty firm on the trans issue of transing kids. I can't stand it. I think it's immoral and, quite frankly, demonic. Until we meet again, this is Bob McDermott. I humbly, humbly ask for your vote and wish you a great day. Aloha, and God bless you all.